today's class, we have a special guest, my boyfriend, Akili.
Everybody.
And he is going to be going over his 4 favorite exercises for a tight pelvic floor. So first, he doesn't look super comfy sitting there. So I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, this doesn't work for me. Okay.
So what you can do, I'm going to give you the block. If you prop yourself up on something. So if you have a hard time kneeling or you're not comfortable sitting, propping up on something. So let's just try this because you don't look comfy. Before we get rolling, everyone, let's just see. You know, I talk about this stuff all the time, but he edits all the videos. Does that feel better?
Much better.
Yeah. Good job. All right. So your first exercise for a tight pelvic floor that you like is the lunge.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to come up onto our knees. And we're gonna take our left leg and scooch your left leg out in front. So Akili's gonna keep the block with him. If you have the block, you can place the block down on the ground. And you're gonna sink your left knee forward over your toes. Think of your right leg going back. And first, we're just gonna kind of warm the hips up, rocking forward and backwards. Good job back there. Think of your knee going over your toes. Why do you like this one?
It's actually a really good stretch for your hamstrings. So if you've been sitting for a while, it's a good way to loosen up. And then if you've got really sensitive knees, the block is a must.
Okay. Good job. So where do you feel the stretch? You mentioned hamstrings, so they're back here. So we're going to be stretching our hips in here.
Yeah. So I actually feel it from behind my knee all the way to my pelvic floor. So it's actually multifold for me.
Oh, fabulous. Look at that. If you sit a lot during the day like this guy, and because he sits a lot during the day, he ends up running to the bathroom and he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, it's your pelvic floor. And he's like, no, it's not.
My pelvic floor gets mad at me sometimes.
All right, so now that we've been holding for a little, we're going to add on. So do you want to show them what you like to do to add?
Yeah. So I then do like a trunk twist, where essentially I take my left arm and I twist and I point my hand at the sky.
Now, your gaze can be wherever it's most comfortable. I like looking down at my hand. You can kind of turn your gaze in and out. But let's add a little bit of movement. So let's take the left hand, bring the left hand back down. And then inhale, take the left arm back up. Nice. Left hand down. Bring it back up. Keep thinking, sending those legs opposite direction. One more time, bring it down. And then back up. Nice. Left hand comes down. Let's take the left leg, send that left leg back, and we're just gonna quickly sink into a child's pose. So sink those hips back, and I want you to send your breath down to your low back. Think of spreading those sit bones apart. Because the most important thing with these exercises is, Akili, I say it all the time.
Breathing?
Oh my gosh, guys, can you believe that? Pull yourself, come back up. Yes, it is breathing. You gotta say it with confidence. It's breathing. Right leg, scoot your right leg out in front. Sink that right leg forward. Now you can bring your hands down to the block. You can bring them down to the ground, but we're inhale, scooting that right leg forward. And left leg is going back. Just kind of opening up those hips. You can do little pulses. Think of that right knee over our toes and really send your breath down to the pelvic floor. We're not pushing, we're not forcing anything. He likes to do everything like 210%. So it's just like nice, gradual, gentle.
You don't need to power this one to the max.
No, ease into it. Little pulses. Nice job. For 3, 2, last one. Okay, we're gonna add on Akili's favorite part. Take that right arm, spin your right arm open towards the sky. Really push into the left hand to help you twist, and then bring it back down. So keep using your breath to move in and out, thinking of those legs spreading apart. So this trunk rotation is really important for our pelvic floor because it helps get more mobility in our rib cage, which then makes more room for our breathing muscle. Good, bring it back down. We got 2 more times. Press into that left arm, spin the right arm up. Tap it back down. Peel your chest, lift it up. Nice, last one. Awesome job. Bring those hands back down. Take your right leg, scoot your right leg back, and just sink those hips back into child's pose. Send the breath all the way down to your low back. Maybe you wiggle left and wiggle right. Nice job. And you're gonna pull yourself, come all the way back up. And we're gonna come into pigeon pose next. So you're gonna take your right knee towards your right knee towards your right wrist. And then scoot those hips back. Now, your right shin does not have to be parallel with the front of your mat. You're gonna keep your hands on either side. You can come down to your forearms. The most important thing is keeping your pelvis nice and even. Let me peek and see what he's doing back here.
For those of you that are not flexible like myself, a lot of times what I do is I actually take my hand and I trap my foot. And then I kind of sink into it because that allows for me to get a better stretch.
You could also add in a pillow or a block to give yourself a little more support so you can sink in more comfortably. And like really send the breath down to this low part of your back. You can wiggle in and out. Baby, you can take the block out if it's not super comfy. I just wanted to show. Maybe it is more comfortable.
It's actually not bad.
See? Oh, look at you learning new things over there. You can wiggle like left and right through your spine. We're really sending the breath down to the low back, sit bones. Now, if this pose is like absolutely not Melissa and Akili, I can't get into it. I love the alternative of figure four. So you could take your right ankle to your left knee, sit bones down, stay open through your chest, and breathing into that. Either option. I feel like you're gonna mess with my foot. I knew it. So these stretches, great to hold, minute each. And the most important thing that goes along with it, Akili.
I knew there were going to be pop quizzes. I would have had them.
Breathing. You're just going to say breathing when in doubt. Oh my gosh. Oh, I swear, he like watches every single one of these videos. Awesome. Let's take one more breath in here. Nice. Pull yourself, come all the way back up. And then we are going to switch. So take that left knee towards your left wrist. Square those hips off. Woo, might be tighter on one side than the other. You can come down to your forearms. You can use the block. Are you tighter on one side than the other?
Of course.
You're making faces back there.
Of course.
Which side was tighter for you?
I don't know. They can probably hear me sighing. Oh. It's definitely my left side.
Okay. Maybe if you have a side that's a little tighter, you just give it a little extra love. And the same thing, you kind of wiggle left, wiggle right, breathe into it. We want the bones at the front of your pelvis to be facing towards the ground. On it back there. So the next exercise that he picked for us, I struggle with it, like struggle bus city, and he's like, wait till you see it. Oh,
that's why I chose it.
Probably, because he can do it, and I'm like, ooh, I gotta work on this one. Work in progress always.
Mind you, it's like one of the only ones that I can do that she can't. So you gotta take your wins where you can.
You know. All right, take one more breath in here. Awesome. All right. You want to show them what your next one is that I struggle with?
Yeah, absolutely. So you bring your feet shoulder width apart and you sink down into a squat. But instead of stopping here, you just keep going.
Watch his toes, you guys. I caught him. I knew I was going to catch him. I'll talk about his toes in a minute.
She's just mad she can't do this.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right. I have to move my feet out wider than hip distance. You can rotate those legs out. You can sink the hips down. Now, if you struggle like I do, you can use some blocks to prop yourself up. Take those hands to the inside, open up. You can also come up into a higher squat, pushing those legs back behind you, opening up. I'm gonna stay on my block here. Well, I'll just show I can. I have been working on this one. We just finished filming the 30-day challenge, so I did lots of these to work on it. But I still am going to use the block while he hangs out there. So another thing I like to do while in Malasana is kind of shift your weight to the right, get your right knee over your toe, shift your weight to the left knee over your toes. I struggle with this because of my ankle mobility. Sometimes it can be your hips. So just seeing what's restricting, limiting you getting into this. So let's chat about Achilles' toes now. So he activates his toes and lifts them up. Like I catch him all the time doing this.
Listen, my toes have their own brain, okay? They do what they want to do. Just let them live their lives.
But we know there's a big connection between our feet and our pelvic floor. So he's constantly like extending and gripping and using his toes, which just adds to more tightness. So just kind of be aware of your feet. If you're like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the bathroom, then you have to go to the bathroom again. Like, are you doing something with your feet? Like this guy. I knew you were going to do it. I was like, yes, I caught him.
You know, once you get down into this position, it's actually not bad. So you could actually hang out here for quite a while.
Speak for yourself.
And if you want to take it to the next level, you can actually lean forward and put some pressure on your hands and use your elbows or your triceps to spread a little bit more, just to get a little bit more of a stretch.
Good. Achilles tips there. Oof. You can come out at any point if you need to take a break, but we're only going to be here for 2 more breaths. You can hang out there all day. I should see. We should leave
All day.
All right, come on up. Ooh, out of that one. Oh my goodness. All right, we've got one more for you for that tight pelvic floor. Let's come down onto your back. What's your last one that you picked for everybody?
The last one that I chose was Happy Baby.
Okay, I'm gonna show you a couple of different modifications with this one. So you can grab the backs of your knees, pull your knees towards your shoulders. You can grab the outside edges of your feet and pull the knees towards your shoulders. You can do one leg at a time, pulling that knee down, or the back of your knee, pulling it down. The other thing you could do as well is if you had a pillow or prop the block, you can do it with the block, but the pillow is more relaxing. You can also prop those hips up and bring it down. Or if you've got the block, you can kind of rock side to side and you get a glute release at the same time. So as you're breathing in, you're sending your breath down to your pelvic floor, opening up. Those feet are facing the ceiling. Nice breath in. Exhale, let it go. Just gently pull those knees in. Nice breath in. Exhale, let it go. Just keep gently opening up those hips. Send the breath down. Feet face the ceiling. Nice breath in. Exhale, let it go.
Hey, is there a reason why you would keep your feet angled towards the sky?
It's for the position of your hips to get into that, yeah. Are you having a hard time keeping your feet facing the ceiling?
Maybe. I actually noticed a bit of a difference in stretch areas
Very good.
based on the angle of my feet towards the sky.
Yes, you are definitely going to feel different angles and different muscles in your hip with that in that position. So good job noticing that. It's all about awareness. Awesome. Let's take one more breath here. Exhale, let it go. Slowly let go. Bring those legs back together. Place your feet back down on the ground. Let's take the block out. Slowly onto your side. Come all the way up. Find a comfortable seated position. He's gonna go right. He's like, that's not comfortable. Don't sit like that. All right. Awesome job with those exercises. We're gonna take one nice last cleansing breath and lift those arms all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands down towards heart center. Great work with Achilles 4 top exercises for a tight pelvic floor. And we totally forgot to mention, we are in Bali.
Yep.
So we hope you enjoyed this class. If you're wanting more like this, we have a 7-day Bali challenge and a 30-day Bali challenge.
Well done on the work. If you are at home struggling along with me, I'm proud of you.
Awesome job, babe.
Hey.
Until next time.